Okay guys, I told everyone I was going to show them kind of how we start a painting. So I'm going to show you how to do a sky. Basically what I did was I wetted the canvas down with a little bit of water just so that it doesn't dry up as quickly because I'm using acrylics. They will dry very fast. So I'm just going to put down some white and some blue toward the middle where it's going to blend toward the horizon. And I know you probably can't really see that right now, but you will here in a second. So try and make your colors as natural as you can. I'm using blue, white, and black to make a grayish blue for the actual sky. And as we go from that color down into the white, it will get lighter, as you can see right there. And as you go further down, it gets even whiter. Don't worry about brush strokes right now. You want to go quick because acrylic's going to dry up on you. Then you can go into a little bit darker color with the blues and the blacks toward the top of the sky, because as you get away from the horizon, you want the sky to be darker. And then what we will do is we'll go back in a little bit and darken up the corners even more with just black and blue. And that's basically all you're doing to start a sky. Not real complicated, just use 3 colors and then you're just going to blend them together like this. And keep working it down. You want to go fast because acrylic will dry, it'll leave brush strokes on you, and you're going to be mad that it doesn't quite look as good. And don't worry if you get some dark spots, light spots, you're going to fix all that with clouds, whatever you're going to do as far as your sky. Now, once your color goes from a darker to a lighter, and you've hit your dark last, you're going to want to wash the brush. And then you're going to want to get it really, really dry so that you don't have brush strokes. And if you get a little hair in there from your brush, have tweezers, because acrylic gets really sticky. It's hard to just flick them out. Now, I'm going to pause the video for a second and wash this brush, and I'll come back with a clean, dry brush. Hang on. Okay, now that you have a clean, dry brush, you want to blend all those brush strokes out. It's going to really feather it out. It's going to get lighter and lighter and lighter at the bottom. Darker toward the top. Just like that. Don't worry about the bottom too much because you're going to put in later, you're going to put in whatever mountains or mid-ground or whatever it is that you want to put in there. Now on the corners, you want to darken the corners up just a little bit. I'm going to use black, white, and blue again, just a little more black this time to make it darker. And the reason why we use white is it kind of naturalizes the color so it's not overwhelmingly blue. And we're just going to darken the corner. And what this will do is it'll lead the eye toward the center of the painting. More black and blue than anything. And if everything starts sticking up on you and it's not smoothing out the way you want, add a little bit of water to the paint, not much, and it'll blend just a little bit better. Just darken those corners up. And you have to be careful if you're adding water because it will take off some of the paint that's on there already. So if you want to stop and let it dry, you can do that too. But just darken up that top part. Just like that. Let me wash the brush. If you want to make the bottom of the sky lighter, blue and white, and you can lighten up this area. And if you don't work quickly, this won't work. So you'll just have to keep practicing. This will also put that mist in there if you're going to add mountains or rivers or whatever down the road. You have that mist in there. And this is basically the first step on the painting. Now I'm going to show you some clouds here real quick. And we'll do another video on clouds down the road. But now you can see how we've gone from dark to light and faded it fairly decently. And if you want to, you can just throw in some clouds. And you'll go back and highlight some of these so they're not going to look perfect right now, which is fine. They'll look a little funny because we're just using a very, very light blue, basically white. It's going to pick up some of the blue that's in there. Blend those clouds out to where they disappear. It's easier to do this where it blends out when everything's wet. Once it's dry, it's a different technique, which I'll show you down the road. But now you kind of can see some cloud shapes beginning to form. And this is nowhere near the final stage of how you do clouds, but it'll give you an indication of where to start with. As clouds get really far away, they almost look flat. If you have any brush strokes in there that you don't like, just blend them out until they're nothing. They just disappear. As it dries, the more you go back over it, the softer it's going to look. And you create that depth. Those clouds are very, very far away. Now, you can let this dry and you can put in closer clouds. You can put in where the sun hits them, they're a little more yellow. Maybe the sun hits them and they're a little more pink, depending on if it's sunrise or sunset. But that is basically all you have to do for a sky. When you go back and highlight your clouds, if you want to focus on the clouds more, you don't have to. There's no, skies are very, very crazy. There's no perfect way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. And I'll show you with several different brushes how you can kind of get this. But this is just really far back there, really kind of broken up. And we'll smooth them out and highlight them later after it dries with more paint. It's just giving you a basic start of where these cloud shapes are. And that's basically it. So on the next video, we'll go back over this. And you can see how we highlight these clouds to make them look a little more realistic. Thanks for watching.